What's up? Welcome back to a new season of the Naqwatsveni Skateboarding Podcast. That's right, we're at season 2. Man, it feels good to be back. Let's go start season 2. Yeah, yeah. And make sure to hit that follow button. Follow us on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and even on Spotify. Cool.
Yeah. Allergic to haters, I do. Bless your heart, baby, do you? SNLK is for you. You think you hate me, but it's you. I put in the time and it shows. Overtime like my uncles.
I'm loving myself, it's becoming me. Smudge on me, smudge on me, smudge on me. Only creator can humble me.
Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Naqwatsveni podcast, where we talk about everything and anything. We dive deep into our conversations with the guests. And on today's episode, I have Native American YouTuber, TikToker, content creator, KL, Chino.
What's up, everybody? If you have not followed me, you should do so now. I am KL Chino. I am a Native American YouTuber. I am a TikTok creator. I am a content creator on Instagram as well. So, dude, it's really good to have you here. Thank you so much for inviting me on. You can find me at KL Chino on a lot of my social media. Yeah, dude, thanks for having me, man. It's an honor to be here.
I watch your videos and all that stuff, like even TikTok, like Instagram, YouTube, all that stuff. So your content is pretty
Heck
amazing. It's
yeah.
pretty fun to watch. It's like adventurous and like you just go out and about and like do your hiking or just your adventures. It's pretty cool.
Thanks, dude. Heck yeah. I try to. I haven't done it in a hot minute, but I try to.
Yeah, because like in one of your recent you or not recent, but one of your videos, you just up and left and you went to Sedona and like you were there until like nighttime or whatever.
Oh yeah, I remember that one. Yeah, I was all walking in the dark.
You're all like
Heck
saying like you're listening to like some prayer songs and all that stuff.
yeah, dude. I was like walking alone like for like about a good mile and a half, and I'm like, dang, like I don't want anything to come get me. I don't want no spirits out here getting me. Like, freak this. I'm all listening to like prayer songs.
Yeah, I was
Trying to
like,
stay protected.
yeah, for real. So do you usually like hike by yourself or do you have like friends that come with you?
So a lot of the hikes that I used to do, like I would say like in the year like 2020-ish, I used to go with a couple of friends just so I can like make it more fun and like vlog. But majority of the hikes that I always do, I'm usually by myself. Like I like the alone time. I like being able to soak in all the nature. But yeah, like I would say like half and half. I like to go alone when I want to, and then like other times I'm like, dude, like I kind of want like a co-pilot. Like I want somebody to like just talk to, and and it's usually my friend Natalie because Natalie's just like really down for adventures and stuff. So I usually invite her along, and we kind of like paper rock scissors who's going to be able to vlog that time. So we try to work that out. But other than that, like, I invite a lot of people. Sometimes people don't want to be on the YouTube channel too. So I'm like, dude, like, that's why I usually choose to go alone because then I can vlog and, like have fun all by myself or my kids. And so, heck yeah, man. Like half and half, man.
Yeah, that's awesome. So what does KL stand for? Or is that just like what is it?
Dang, I get asked this a lot. So, so KL, that's actually my name. That's my name. That's like legit my name. Um, it stands for my parents' initials. So my dad's name is Kenny. My mom's name is Loretta. I'm the love child. So, yeah, it was pretty much my name. Um, everyone like asked me like what does Chino stand for? Like where'd you get Chino from? And I'm like, dude, like that's my mom's maiden name. Like that's literally my mom's last name. So yeah, that's my name, KL Chino, pretty much.
Oh, I see. That's cool. I mean, you have your mom and dad's name, middle initials, or initials, or whatever you want to call it.
Nay, I don't even know who he is. Nay. All I know is his name is Kenny.
Oh, you don't know your dad?
No, I mean he walked out when I was like in third grade, so
Oh, okay.
I don't really know who. That's why I'm cracking up because I'm like I don't even know him. Like I only know like him up to third grade, but other than that, I don't even know who the heck he is.
Wow. You might just look at the
Ironically,
kid. Yeah, how you knew.
ironically, I have to use his name.
Yeah.
I have to remember him somehow.
Wow. So you don't know him till to this day?
Well, I've seen him like when I was in junior high, like a couple times. I've seen him in high school a couple of times. He has like his own little family going on too, so like I never really like wanted to bother. In adulthood, after I turned 18, I think the most I've seen him is probably about like 5 times out of the since I was 18, and it's like 10 years ago. So within 10 years,
Hmm.
I've only seen him about a good 5 times. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. But I mean, I think like when we like talk, like, like I had a lot of resentment toward him. So that's why I never really went around to see him, and I feel like I know he was guilty, but like after like getting to talk to him at one point, I was in nursing school and there was like some exercise that we did, and I remember the day that I it was just a stupid exercise. And I remember crying in the bathroom because I felt like my life was like kind of like crap because like I didn't compare to all the students in my private like school. So the school that I went to was like a privately owned school, and a lot of the people there were very privileged. They had everything, and me being there, like the only native in the class, and one of the first Navajos to graduate from their school, it was like kind of scary, and so I I went into the bathroom and I was like crying to my dad. I'm like, why did you leave? Like because of you, I didn't get to have any of this. I didn't get to do this or do that. And I kind of like just vented everything out to him. And he was like, he talked to me. He finally apologized. And I'm like, you know what? Thank you. All I needed was an apology from you. But even to this day, I still don't talk to him.
Oh.
It's just normal. It's just natural. I mean, I don't know. It's more comfortable for me not to talk to him because there's really nothing to talk to about with him. Like I feel like if you wanted to be in someone's life, you would be there. You would be present in that person's life, and I'm not going to force myself onto somebody who doesn't want me around. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
that definitely.
yeah, it's all about energy, man. It's all about energy for me. For me, and anyways, it's about that. Like, like if my dad wanted me to be there, if he wanted me to come around, he would be there. He would make the effort to call me. He would, do everything he can, see me and stuff. That's just where I like kind of drew the line. And I realized, energy is a lot. Energy is everything. But, I
Yeah.
wish him
Well,
well. I'm not
you're,
I'm not mad at him.
yeah. Well, it seems like you're doing better without him. You
Oh
have
yeah. I mean, yeah, oh
everything
yeah.
good.
We're all adults now.
Right? And you still have your mom with you.
Oh yes, definitely. Like my mom is literally my best friend. I can't go a day without my mom.
Yeah. That's cool though. So, what tribe are you from? What tribe are you?
So I am Navajo, I am Acoma Pueblo, and I am Mexican. I don't really bother the whole Mexican part of it because I don't know anything about it. But I really do. I claim Navajo like to the fullest because that's just who I am. I was raised Navajo. Um, and I'm starting to kind of reconnect with my Acoma side because I wasn't able to like, grow up that way. But yeah, I'm all those. Just a little mutt. Nothing crazy. I'm a little mutt.
So who's Akuma? Uh,
My mom.
oh, your mom?
Yeah, my mom is Akama. We're from the Chino family, which is on from Sky City area. That's where we're from.
Yeah, yeah. I've been there like several times with my mom and my dad. Like when we were like little kids, we would always travel and we would visit those places out there because my dad knew a lot of people out towards like Izuni, Acoma, Taos, Santo
Oh,
Domingo.
nice.
He knew a lot of people from out there because my dad used to weave. He was a weaver and he was
Oh,
also
nice.
a car salesman and all that stuff. And he would like do trades like with his weaving. Like he would do trades with like Akumas or Taos or those villages out that way. Like he would do a lot of trades with them. So,
Nice. So you probably know Akama more than I do.
not really, but I know where it is.
Guarantee you've been there.
Yeah,
You visited the place.
yeah, I've been to the place like a lot of times because I know Akum was like way on top of that mesa out that way.
Yeah, with the church and everything. They're all
Yeah,
conquered. My peoples be conquered.
yeah. I don't know if they still do those tours up that way.
Oh, I have zero idea. Again, like I said, I'm just barely starting to reconnect again with them. It's just because my grandfather passed away when before I was even born, so I have no idea like who family are out there. I've been trying to get like in touch with, like a couple of family members. I did meet a couple of friends out there, and I met their grandparents and stuff, and they're like, "Oh yeah, like you look like you're from the Chino family," and I'm like, "What? Like, how do you know that?" And so like they would like they would like explain to me like who's who amongst each other and like which area or which family, and they were giving me names to kind of like go by. So I'm like, okay, like maybe one day I'll go ahead and like go out there and kind of figure out who I am pretty much in that on that side anyway. Because I'd love to get to know my family on that side.
Yeah, I mean that would be cool. That would be interesting. It would also be fun too because knowing that you know your Navajo side and be able to know your Akuma side.
Oh yeah, definitely. And my the whole like Mexican side, I know I did have a cousin who reached out from Chihuahua. She was just like, hey, like why don't you make a trip to come out this way. And I'm like, I kind of don't want to leave my country really quick. Not with everything going on. I think I'm kind of safe here. I mean, it would be cool to reconnect with that side, but I don't know. I'm kind of hesitant about it.
What do your morning routines look like?
Holy day. What kind of day are we talking about here? Are we talking about a work day? Are we talking about a chill day? Are we talking about a travel day?
Just whatever day you feel like talking about.
Oh, it's so sad. Let's see. So, typical work day for me. So, I did a lot of travel nursing for about over a year and a half. With the travel nursing, it was very, very depressing. Um, I would work 8 hours of the day, and that would be from 2 o'clock to 10 o'clock p.m. So, I would go to work from 2 p.m. to 10 p.m. and because I was traveling, I didn't have like I tried to save as much money as possible because I wanted to pocket the per diem that I was getting. So I would stay I would stay in my car. I used to live out of my car. So 2 to 10, mind you, I just barely quit this job like last month. So 2 to 10, I would go to work, okay? And then I would go park my car at like a hotel or travel stop or whatever. So from 11 or 12 o'clock, I would go to sleep. And then I would wake up, like I would say, like 8 o'clock because it starts to get hot in the car. Mind you, this is Phoenix, Arizona. So
Yeah.
about like 7, 8 o'clock, it starts to get hot. I'll wake up, get into my workout clothes. I'd go to the gym about 9 o'clock in the morning, and I would force myself to stay there until like 11 o'clock. So from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m., I'd stay there and work out for about an hour and a half, and then the last 30 minutes I would get ready. I would shower and all that at the gym, whatever. And then from 11 to I would say about 11 to 12 o'clock, I would go ahead and grab food. I'd grab lunch, whatever the heck I'm eating. And then 12 to 2 o'clock, I would travel to my facility and I would work from 2 to 10. So it's
Damn.
basically 2 to 10 to work, 11 to 8, sleep, 9 to 11, work out, get ready, 11 to 12, eat, and then 12 to 2, go to work, and then 2 to 10 work. So that was my travel day. Um, that's basically how I kind of live my life. So if you saw my Instagram stories where I'm like, oh yeah, I'm at work and this and that, that was my day. um, yeah, I used to live out of my car for about a good year and a half, just this past year and a half actually.
Oh wow.
And then
Yeah.
yeah, so like I recently like um quit that job. I was tired of it. I was tired of couch surfing, asking my friends and my family like, hey, can I stay on your couch tonight? Or like paying like $110 for an Airbnb for one night, and it's like a small bedroom, or like a hotel room, like 200 for a hotel room. I was just like, dude, I cannot do this. So I finally started applying back at home because I live in Tuba City, and jobs are like hella scarce here. It's hard to get a
Yeah.
job on the res, anywhere on the res. And so like I applied for this job. It's like an 8 to 5. It's regular, regular job. And I kept in touch with it, and I signed a 4-week contract with a facility in Payson, which is like 3 hours from me. A 4-week contract, and this new job that I applied for, I recently got it. So, and it's a permanent job. It's with the state of Arizona. So, and it's like across the street from my house.
Awesome. Well,
So I'm
congratulations.
Thank you. I'm so excited for these blessings. It's been a long time coming. I kept looking up jobs like into the city. It was just like, just not even, there's literally nothing. There was literally nothing here. I even applied, like freaking Taco Bell. And they're like, no, you're overqualified. I'm like, how the hell do you get overqualified?
Really? They said
And
that?
yeah, they literally said that. Because like I was like, what I do, I was getting paid a lot, but they don't hire LPNs into the city. You had to either be like a CNA or an RN. So I was just kind of like, they don't hire what I do. So I didn't bother. Um, but yeah, they're just kind of like, no, you're kind of overqualified, and they never took me into consideration. Like, I don't know, it was just really tough. But anywho, I got a job and I'm excited. It's a brand new like field. It's more office work. So I'm kind of like, we'll see how that goes. I'm used to just like running around all day long, and we'll see how this office job plays out. But yeah, it's like literally across the street from where I live. I get to walk to work. I get to see my kids every day. I get to wake up and get them ready for school. Just being a mom. I love being a mom, and it sucks when I just can't be a mom. It sucks having to like just call my daughter and be a mom through the phone. It really sucks. And so, being able to like do this with them and get them ready in the morning, like that's literally everything for me. And so, yeah, so I'm excited to do that. I'm finally home. So my typical day now is more so like, waking up in the morning, getting my kids ready for school. Both of them will be up like at 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning. Get them showered, dry their hair, get them ready, send them off on the bus like at 7 o'clock in the morning. I start my morning, I just like kind of clean up from the previous night's like stuff. And then I just, just hang out. I start answering my emails, doing all my collaboration stuff, like, basically on my laptop all day long, just trying to, do all these events. I'm really booked up all of August. I'm booked up like crazy. It's amazing how I'm still alive right now. Um, so my job, my 4 week contract, it begins on the 15th. I have just this week off and then it starts next week. And I work 3 shifts a week. So 3 days a week I work out there. And then this coming weekend I have a ceremony that I gotta help attend. And then the following weekend I have the India market that I gotta attend as well. Oh, before India market, on the Thursday before India market, next Thursday, I have a school presentation that I gotta do. I got invited to do a school presentation. I have India Market to go to on the 21st, and I have a double album release party for my friends, two of my friends anyway, that I got to be there. And then I go back to work again for 3 days. And then I have a fashion show that I got to help coordinate in Rapid City, South Dakota. So I'm most likely going to be out there on the 27th. And then and then I start my new job on the 6th. And then my daughter's birthday is on the 5th. And then meanwhile, I'm still working 3 days a week. Um, yeah, it's just like it's just been super busy. I just got done with the collaboration that I'm gonna be posting like next Wednesday or the 17th. I'll be posting something on that. And then I have to do a YouTube video. Meanwhile, I'm trying to keep up with YouTube and TikTok and all that stuff. And I'm just like, dude, it's insane how like you begin to like have to do these collaborations to help people promote their business and everything. And it's just like you try to stretch yourself like everywhere, and it gets sometimes it gets overwhelming. But then again, I'm like, dude, like this sounds like fun. Like I think this would be a lot of fun, and you just kind of have to manage your time.
Yeah.
But yeah, I enjoy it. I enjoy it. I enjoy what I do. I'm glad to, do. I'm glad to know that I'm able to make other people, make other people's day. And then in the end, we all just want to be happy.
True. And as a native content creator, what does that mean to you?
So I feel like we've all heard it, like there's representation. Um, we've all like seen it. And I'm very, very proud of my fellow Indigenous, content creators and, actors and actresses and, like singers, songwriters, anybody who's like in the mainstream world or like that's killing it right now. Being a content creator, it's and native one anyway, my work is usually around my TikTok is usually based around native humor. We never really get to see that side of us because everyone always pictures us as stoic people or people who are just like basically really like spiritual people. I mean, we are, but like we also have humor. We also live like everybody else, and we're just not the stereotypical natives that you see in movies. We're human beings too. Like we still, we cook from a stove, we live in houses too, and we also have our own type of humor. And nobody will understand our humor. And that's what I love about it. I love the fact that no one will get it unless to, or unless you're like somebody who grew up, a non-indigenous person growing up in an indigenous community. Because I have a lot of those here in Tuba City. There are sisters, there are brothers, there are allies. Um, we have one that we're very, very proud of. She's actually graduated recently with her master's in nutrition, I believe. Dietetics, I think. Um, but yeah, we're proud of her. She's a white girl, but she's a res girl at heart. She's definitely a res girl at heart. She played basketball for us. She represented us. She always called herself a res girl. She grew up with us, wrestled with us like res girls. You know what I mean? Like she was a definition of a true res girl. And she, we're very proud of her. And so like people like that, I feel like they understand what we mean by like our native humor. And being a content creator, being able to express that and show that to other people, like especially non-Indigenous folk, like we're here, we're still here. And, like a lot of the things that I like to do is, educate people. And like I love showing our food because people think that our food is, they don't know what we eat. They don't know, there's a lot of things that I love to like share history with it as well, and like backstories on things, or why we make what we do, or why we have a high rate of diabetes. Like there's just so much to it other than just comedy. Um, I was one thing that stuck with me when I started beginning to do like YouTube and all of that stuff, like showing people our land and like, like just showing positivity. And I built this platform basically. And one of my really good friends, we don't talk now anymore, but I remember he told me, he said, you know what, like you have this huge platform. What are you going to do with it? And I was like, what do you mean? And I got all defensive because I was just like, at the time, like, what the heck? Like, what do you mean? And he was like, what are you going to do with your platform? Like, you have this big following, but you're just like entertaining them. You have people's attention. Why not utilize it and speak on issues that matter? And me being defensive, I'm like, what? Like, this does matter, like my YouTube does matter and stuff, like I was just kind of like dumb at the time. And he was just like, no, like you don't understand what I'm talking about. He was like, you have a huge following and you could become a really great leader if you wanted to. And you could show these people what issues are really going on in this world. And you can utilize your platform and your base as a way to show people, showcase the realities of what we live in. And, and I was just like, dude, like after a while, it kind of dawned on me, like, dude, yeah, that is true. And so, like I've always been like an advocate. I've always, done a lot of things, minor like community stuff. I used to speak on schools just because like, like I was a teen parent. So I used to talk to students in high school and safe sex and stuff like that. I did that for a while, and I would help with like the homeless shelters. We would do all these drives, we grew up, just doing all that stuff. We grew up doing it. So, it was just something that we naturally just continued. We would host a lot of food drives, and there's just so much stuff that we did, like I did within the community. And so, like, I never really realized that there were bigger issues than just a small community, like things. And like advocating on behalf of San Francisco Peaks. I was there as a teenager. I wasn't allowed to do a lot, but I was there standing in solidarity with my relatives. And my grandparents were one of the leading people that like tried to boycott the Snow Bowl. And it's very like emotional for me to even talk about it because that was something that I felt like was really, it was something that I felt like I knew I made a change somehow. Like granted, they still went along with it. I was a part of it.
Yeah.
And like just stuff like that, just issues like that. It kind of like, content creation is fun and all, but I feel like there's like a bigger meaning to it. When it comes down to this, when it comes down to the actual dirty work, like there's bigger meaning to than just making comedy. It's bigger meaning than to making people laugh. It's bigger meaning to just, gaining followers or gaining a platform. There's bigger meaning to it all. Like we all have a purpose in this life. And creating these types of videos, giving people this happiness, helping people with suicide, helping people with mental illnesses, like just getting messages of people saying like, hey, like, I was contemplating suicide one time, and I just like laying there on my bed watching TikTok and I saw your videos. Like that literally made me happy, and gave me a purpose in life to like, like what am I doing? And stuff like that. Like it dude, it freaking fucking feels good, like I'm like, dude, like I can't believe it. Like I don't even know it, but like these people who create humor, these people who create videos, and they don't realize that what they do is like it makes a purpose in someone's life. like people don't understand that. Creators don't understand that. Like the simple things is the small things that you do. Like it actually makes a difference in somebody else's life, whether you know it or not. And
Yeah,
like and now that there is like a but now that people do have platforms, I'm so happy to see that there are people out there utilizing those platforms. They're literally out there just like not just showcasing their life, but they're out there, advocating. They're putting like, issues and awarenesses like out there, things that we needed to discuss like many years ago. And I'm so happy there are people out there that are actually doing that and utilizing their platform for good. And I love it. I love what I do. I love being able to, showcase my heritage and my culture. And, and there's a lot of things that I know that are to be kept, not secret, but like, kept sacred, So
yeah,
I don't know. There's just so much to it. I think being a content creator just really kind of opened my eyes that there are a lot of more issues out in the world than there are just within my hometown. And I feel like I can
yeah,
only make a difference just starting at my hometown. That's where I know I can start because I can't make a difference in the world if I can't even take care of my own city.
yeah.
So,
That's true. And going back to your about your teen pregnancy, like I recently saw a post on your Instagram about you in school and you had your baby with you. Can you tell us more about that time in your life?
oh man, hey, dang, are you trying to make me cry on this podcast?
Nope.
Oh man,
How
during
old were
that
you?
time, I was 17. Yeah, I was 17 years old. I just turned 18 actually. Yeah, I just turned 18. Um, Man, I look back on those days and I just cry because I felt like I didn't know what I was gonna do. I really didn't. I'm sorry, I'm all getting emotional. I
Oh, I'm sorry.
had zero idea what my life was gonna be like. It was scary. My mom just kind of told me like that's not my problem. That's your problem. And this at the time I was just like, dude, what the hell am I gonna do? In high school, I was in the seventh round of the Gates Millennium Scholarship. I had received the AIMS scholarship for pass exceeding all three of my AIMS testings. I had received the Chief Manuelito Scholarship for the Navajo Nation. I had received an American Indian scholarship from AIS, and I had a donor family that was willing to help me get through school and pay off the rest of my tuition at UNM. I got accepted to like I think it was like five, six different colleges. Um, and this was all in the beginning of my senior year. Um, I had applied, I got acceptance letters like crazy. I had no idea I was pregnant until like I was 4 months along. I was about 20 weeks. I was actually 5 months. I was 5 months along. I finally found out I was pregnant. Zero symptoms, zero nothing, literally nothing. I played basketball, I played all year round sports, everything, and that's how I found out I was pregnant. It was at a basketball tournament in Chin Lee. And um that was like in February, and that was at the end of my I was at the end of my basketball season. And so, like finding that out in February, being getting ready to graduate in May, getting all these acceptance letters, receiving scholarships already. Like it was just like a big turnaround for me. And it really was a big depressing part of my life and also a time for me of like rebirth. Um, I kind of just like I didn't know what to do. Um, my mom just basically told me, like that's your problem. That's not mine. That's yours. I didn't lay down and have that baby, so that's your problem. And so, I just was like, what the hell do I do? I sat there bawling my eyes out, typing up decline letters to colleges, decline letters to my scholarships. My boyfriend at the time, he was just kind of like, I knew he felt really bad. Um, and like I just was like, dang, like, like what am I gonna do? I didn't know anything about having a baby. I didn't know anything about, none of that. I just was like, damn, damn. I graduated 7 months pregnant, 8 months pregnant, and had my baby, or no, 7 months pregnant and had my baby 2 months later. And I don't know, like I was just going through it. I had a really tough time. My boyfriend, he was working at McDonald's, and we just didn't, we were just making very ends meet. My mom wanted money for rent. She wanted money for all this stuff, like just because she had that whole like thing of like, oh, you're a grown person now. You could pay rent, you could pay this, you could pay that. And I was just like, fuck. So we tried to make it work. I really wanted to go to school. I really wanted to finish school. And so like, and because nobody wanted to babysit for me, I used to take her into my school. And I think back,
Yeah.
I'm like, damn, damn. And I bought a car. It was like a little cheap Grand Am. I bought it with my FAFSA money, and then
Yeah.
I would take her in. I bought my car for like $1,000. It was like really beat up, but I fixed her up and everything. And I would take her to school with me every evening. And I was going to school full time. And my teachers were very, very, very understanding. I would feed her, get her ready, change her, and all that stuff. And she was only like August, like only like a month, 2 months old. And I took her to school the entire year. And
Damn.
like she would cry sometimes, but I would just hold her. I would just sit in the back of the class by the door. I would just sit there and just swaddle her, hold her. And at the same time, I'd be listening, writing my notes. And I remember that picture my friend took. And his name is Jordan, and he was sitting behind me at that time, and he took that picture, and I'm all wearing like my basketball shirt. And I remember he took it, and like a week later, he showed me. He was like, "I wanted to show you that day." He's like, "But you look like you're a little stressed out." He's like, "And I want to like make it worse." He was like, "So like I took this picture. I took this picture of you." He's like, "I hope you didn't mind." He's all, "But what you're doing is very admirable. It's admirable." He's like, "I appreciate you, and you're just showing me and everybody else that you can do anything that you put your mind to." And so like that literally like just kind of stuck with me, and I was just like, damn, like I didn't realize, this was even a big deal. I'm just here taking my kid to school. But everyone got to know who she was. She grew up around like a lot of my classmates. Um, yeah, like they just all saw her like just grow. They saw her like grow up. Like she was at that point now where she was like sitting like on my lap, like hitting things, and everyone just learned to just not pay any mind to her. Um, but yeah, like shout out to Day College. They were the ones that really, allowed this to happen, made it happen, made my freshman year happen. And but yeah, like teen pregnancy has been tough, and I've been trying my best to go to school for so long. Um, nursing school was crazy too, Nursing school is a totally different story though.
Yeah.
But yeah.
If you could give any advice to about teen pregnancy, what would you what kind of advice would you give?
It's preventative. It is, it is tough. You are kind of in a moment of lust, and be smart about whatever decision that you make. If you are very set on what goals that you want, reach for those goals. And that is not to shame anybody who has chosen teen pregnancy, because being a teen parent is a blessing because you get to grow up with your best friend. And don't think that this is the end. Everyone is on their own timeline. Everyone is going to reach their goal no matter what. It's going to be you that's going to have to get yourself there.
Yeah, man. Teen pregnancy is definitely like I guess I'd say a big issue because like back in high school, like there were kids that would bring their kids like their babies to school. So
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It
there's
became a
a
really big issue. It became a really huge issue on, on our reservation and stuff. And I feel like now that I see the statistics of it, I feel like it's gone down. Like teen pregnancy has gone down.
yeah.
Um, I don't see too much of it nowadays. I don't hear about it too much nowadays either. Um, I think it was like one huge phase. Everyone was just like pregnant all of a sudden.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Mm,
including me.
just all in heat.
We're just all in heat, man.
But
That is
yeah.
funny.
um how did you get into YouTube? Like what interested you into creating a channel?
Um, I don't really like. Okay, so like when I was like, my family, my ex and I were together. We used to just go on these. We would just always be like spontaneous. We would always go on these adventures, like just go fishing every weekend, just do things, and I would just Snapchat whatever it is that we would be doing, and people were like, "Oh my gosh!" Like, and I would have my Instagram up, and like I would put videos on my Instagram story, like of us just doing stuff, random things, just always out and about on the weekends, and people were like so interested in it. Like my friends on there were like apparently very interested in what I do. They're like, man, like you look like you have like a lot of fun. Have you ever thought about vlogging? Have you ever thought about, like doing this, like showing people like what you do? And I'm like, okay, I have not thought about it. And so then I started looking up like vloggers and like what they do and stuff and like, how they go about their week and weekends and daily vloggers, adventure vloggers. I came across Natalie Franklin, and she was a friend of mine, sort of, at the time. And I was like, like I saw what she did. I'm like, oh, this is cool. And I saw like what other people did too. And I'm like, huh, like maybe I should just try it, come out with my first one. And I think I came out with the Western Navajo Fair one. That was my first YouTube video. And I was just starting out, so I didn't really know what I was doing. And I did it, and people were like, "Oh my gosh, I like your video." And Natalie was like, "I like your video. Can I shout you out?" And I'm like, "Oh yeah, sure, go ahead." Shouted me out, and then I started creating more, and then it just became a bigger channel each time. And I don't know. It was just really cool, like letting people inside of like what I did. It was actually supposed to be meant for like my family and my friends and all that, but it got bigger than it was supposed to be.
Yeah. So when you first hit your 500 subs, like how did that make you feel?
So I think I was just kind of scared. I was more scared because I'm like, dude, like people really like subscribing to my channel right now. Like people actually like my content.
Yeah.
um, I was excited. I was nervous. I think I did a giveaway that time too because I was like, dude, like this is so cool. I can't believe I reached like 500. And I was just kind of coasting with it. I was like really like, oh yeah, I'm gonna reach this many by this time. And I was just coasting with it. And I'm like, oh man, like I reached 500. And like people on their own wanted to like my channel. And I'm like, man, maybe I should just do a giveaway because this is really cool. Like I didn't think, I honestly didn't think I thought it was gonna be a flop, honestly. Um, and then like people were like liking it. I'm like, holy crap, this is cool. And so I don't know. I was excited. I was excited. I was happy. I was also nervous because I felt like it kind of put pressure on me to like create better content.
Yeah, I feel you on that.
Oh yeah.
When you start getting a following, it's just like you get so overwhelmed by it. Like, damn, what do I do now to like keep like I know you want to get better and everything, but it's like you constantly think about like, damn, what am I gonna do next? What do I gotta do to up the next post or next video? Like you're always constantly
Yeah.
thinking about new things and it's like, fuck.
Oh yeah. And then you have to see like where everyone else is like at too. Um, like your I guess not I'm not gonna say like your competition, but like the other people that are doing the same thing that you're doing. And you got to make sure like, like you're not re like redoing their videos, I guess you could say, like you're not doing the same thing. Like right now, like currently, I wanted to go to Grand Falls and make a YouTube video on Grand Falls, but like three other YouTubers have already gone there and they're already making videos on it. So I'm just kind of like, oh, okay, never mind. I guess I'll step aside on Grand Falls, like kind of like that. Like you don't want to like be like along with them, I guess you can say.
Yeah, but
So.
nowadays it's just like everybody's doing the same thing as one another. Nothing is original now. Everybody's just like basically repeating each other's content and stuff, but trying to make it their own, I guess you could say.
See, that's what I'm saying. That's exactly why I didn't want to do the Grand Falls one. Because because of that, like I just knew, I already knew, like then that's why I didn't want to like do any of that. And it's hard to keep up with content and make it yours. Um, yeah, it's just really hard. I feel like it's just really difficult.
You should have went to the new monument in Kinley with the red truck in the wash.
Hey, sugar, I know. I was cracking. I was dying on those memes. I just could not handle the memes. I was sharing them like crazy on my Facebook, like, and I would share it to all my friends and like have this little group, and we just like share these freaking red truck memes, and we were cracking up because I've never been to Chile. Well, I've been to Chile like once, but I've never been there, and so like I was like, dude, maybe this would be the time I should like finally go, and I'm like, watch me get stuck too. Guarantee I'm gonna get stuck. So I didn't want to
I
chance
wonder,
nothing.
yeah, I wonder what those dudes or whoever was driving that truck are like. I wonder what they were thinking. Like, we have a
Dude, I'm
truck.
all
Let's
happy about
see if we
it.
can make it.
It's gonna be one hell of a story when they get older, and I'm here for it. We all do dumb stuff like that, like not maybe not get stuck in a wash, but get stuck in the sand dunes and all of
Yeah.
that. Like that's pretty funny though. I was like, hell yeah, they're all living their life. They're all dumb. It cost them their own truck, but hell, they were living life.
Probably their grandma's truck.
That's what, dude, it probably was me. Now that I think about it, it probably was their truck. The grandma's truck.
Just
That's
took
pretty
it and went
funny.
out for a drive. Hey, grandma, we're going to the
Dang.
store. We'll be
They're all they're probably just trying to make it back to grandma's house.
back.
She's probably yelling at them like, "Hey, like you guys need to bring my truck back." And then they're like, "We're trying." They're like, "Liar!" And then they tried to gun it through.
Fuck, man.
That was it. They went that truck. That was a nice truck too.
Oh, yeah, it was. I wonder if it would have actually made it, or either that the engine just seized up when it got more water
I think
into
it
it.
seized up when it got deeper. I'm pretty sure it seized up. I think you're only like in there for like a little bit before water gets into your fuel.
Yeah. Yeah,
Name over here
but
all
damn.
mechanic. Nay. Just kidding. Yeah, this is
I'll
what
try to
happened to the
die.
truck. They all try to like tell you. They try to explain it.
Yeah, and then people are just like they're actually taking pictures with it. Like they got over to the truck and like posing with the truck, and I was
It's
like,
all
"What the fuck?"
iconic.
Did you
Hell
see that
yeah.
meme where remember that Dumb and Dumber what's his name? Harry was sitting at the cliff and he's all looking at the truck.
Oh yeah.
That was a good one.
That was good. I like the one where it was like, "What's your clan?" It's our red truck running into the water clan.
um, and then there
I
was
was
this
like,
one, I think it was a video of this guy. He was playing the guitar and he was playing to
"This
some
one's for
some music.
you. This is for you,
Yeah,
real Blackwater."
yeah. That shit was funny. I don't know. That was crazy. Crazy monsoon season, man.
I hella love it. I love it because like sometimes we just all need to be dig gifts in it every once in a while, like just be dumb every once in a while.
Yeah.
I feel like we
Cause
just
I
all need to be dumb
remember,
sometimes.
yeah, cause I remember back in high school, me and my brothers would take my dad's truck. We would sneak off with it and take the keys and just take off. And then we would end up getting stuck somewhere and we would have to call him and be like, hey, we got stuck.
See what I mean? I remember I did that one time too. My mom's truck, her truck was all little and it got stuck in the sand dune and I was all hanging out with one of like my boyfriend at the time, but he wasn't my boyfriend. My mom was like, "Who the hell is this boy?" I was just like, "Oh, he's one of my friends." He got busted.
He's so funny.
This is my friend. It's funny.
Shit, man. High school days, man.
High school was fun. Dang.
For sure.
Says the one who ended up pregnant, huh? Dang. It was fun. Dang.
That's funny.
Dang, high school was fun.
Oh my god. Have you ever did school? I'm pretty sure you have.
Ditch school. No, I haven't. Oh no, I did. I
No?
did. I did. I have ditched school. It was for a good reason though. I'm not gonna lie, like I was like hella nerdy. Like I actually love school. Like my elective in school was Navajo government. That's how much I love school.
Ew. All political.
Um, but I liked it. So I did school because like one of my great grandmas, she was passing away, and I wanted to see her before she passed. And I took off with my mom. I was 16, 15, 16. I was 16, and I took off with my mom's truck. And I borrowed money from a few of my friends that were like drug dealers. I was like, hey, they're like, my grandma is gonna be passing. Like, I just want to get to Winslow. And they're like, oh yeah, for sure. They're like, here's some money. Like, you don't gotta pay us back. And I'm like, all right, cool. And so like I jumped in the truck, backpack. I took off during lunch and I left to Winslow, which is like an hour and a half from my house, like almost 2 hours. Went to Winslow, visited her and everything, and I had to be home before 5 before my mom got off work. So I like said my goodbyes, hugged her, everything, all that stuff. Then I took off in my mom's truck and I made it back. Like literally like 5 minutes after 5, I made it home. And my mom was like, I need you to pick me up. Like, where are you at? And I'm like, I'm almost there. And I'm all fucking going 90 miles an hour.
Damn.
That was funny. I had no license, no business, even driving that truck. And I drove all the way to Winslow.
You just started rigging it.
Hell yeah. Yeah, I picked her up in time. I was 5 minutes late, but it's
That
funny.
was school. It was good.
Yeah, fourth hour was pretty dope. My practice went really well.
Damn.
Basketball practice went really well.
What was your
I'm sorry.
childhood like growing up?
Oh man, it was hell. So growing up, I was always around my dad. My dad was a drunk, and so like, and he was also this cowboy guy. So we grew up around horses. Like we hella grew up around horses. And my dad, oh, he tried his best to stay in our life, but like he was just dumb. But I remember growing up, the times that I did see him, like in like junior high, he taught me how to drive stick shift. And the only way I learned how to drive stick shift was taking him to make a run.
Oh my god.
And so like just growing up with my dad like that, it was just kind of like it was different. My dad used to like throw me on wild horses when I was little. I started riding horses on my own when I was like 3 years old. My dad used to take him out, toss me on, and just we just like go. And yeah, I have pictures of myself, and I was like only like 3 years old. And I was like riding by myself and everything. And then like he would, as I got older, because I grew up like cowboyish. So like as I got older, like my dad was like, okay, like I got new horses coming in. I'm gonna train them. Like I want you to just like jump on them and that whatever. Like they're still green. So he would work on these horses and I would be like his dummy. So he'd throw me on these horses and I would be like, fuck, I'd be bucking with them, everything getting thrown off, thrown against panels, all this stuff. I'd be crying because I was like so scared to get back on. And my mom would like come up to the corral and just be like, oh, get her off of that. Like, what are you doing to her? And like, I was just bawling my eyes out. They would get into a huge argument over here getting bucked off a horse.
Not even paying attention.
Not even paying attention to me. I'm over here just trying to hang on. But like, like just stuff like that. I grew up like rodeoing. Um, I was hella into horses. I grew up basically a cowgirl and I was getting into horses. I had my own horses because my dad left. So like, I had to take care of the horses on my own. First it was on my mom, and then it was on my sister and I, and then eventually it just became me by myself. So all throughout junior high and all throughout high school, I took care of horses, on my own. And I started working when I was 14, when I was legally able to get a job. Um, when I was like in seventh and eighth grade, I hung out with kind of like the wrong crowd, I guess you could say. Um, and I started selling, weed for like some people, for
You were
friends and
being
everything. I was,
offended.
I was the little plug in junior high. And so like people were actually buying it from me. People were buying weed from me. I was known to be the plug. And I did that all throughout junior high, and I'd give money to my mom, help pay her bills and stuff. And then, um, like when I got to 14, it's when I finally got a legal job. Um, I was able to like, finally work, and I was with the youth employment, got that, and again paid for my mom's bills and stuff because she was struggling hard. And then, started working since I was 14. Never went a year without work.
Wow.
And yeah, and I would just work every year throughout high school. I worked at Bashes. That was my legit job. My first legit real job ever was at Bashes. I would be pushing carts and everything for like freaking like cheap, like $7, $6 an hour. And yeah, it was crazy. It was pretty cool. I kept up with my grades, did that, worked after school sometimes, worked throughout the entire summer. It was pretty cool. I think my mom appreciated it. Um, but yeah, that's basically my childhood. Just work, cowgirl shit, work, and that was it. School. I never really was able to like, do all that. And then like alcohol, of course, played into part. Like I mean, I don't even care if people even know. Like I started drinking when I was a kid. I was only like in sixth grade when I started drinking alcohol.
Okay, this conversation is going amazingly well. and we have so much more to get to with KL Chino. I am going to split this up into 2 episodes. I hope you don't mind. Join us for next week's episode. So that's all I got for you on this episode. Until next time, make sure y'all go like and subscribe on the YouTube channel. Follow us on Naqwatsveni Skateboarding on Instagram, Facebook, and Spotify. Pourquoi?